the brightest,
the one and only,
the great moments in Disney and the best, the brightest,
the one and only,
the great moments in Disney animation with Carol Burnett.
I guess you could say it's magic.
Good evening. My name is Michael Eisner, and welcome to the Disney Sunday Movie. And boy, are we in trouble. As you know, we were scheduled to have Miss Carol Burnett as our very special host tonight. And this is very embarrassing because she is not here. We're ready to begin great moments in Disney animation, and we have no host. And now what we need is a host. Oh, fabulous idea. You see, I have this magic wand that I got from Tinkerbell last Christmas, and I haven't used it, and we have no host, so let's give it a shot. Here we go. Carol, am I glad to see you here?
Well, am I glad I wasn't in the tub? How'd you do that? Is this
Magic.
a magic wand?
Definitely.
You mean you can make people appear with this?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Can you make people disappear?
No, Carol, be my guest.
Mike, come here. Come.
Yes, Carol.
Rinse this.
Absolutely.
Prince Charming. Prince Charming.
The host of Great Moments in Disney Animation, Carol Burnett.
It is such a pleasure to be here tonight because there is no bigger fan of Disney animation than yours truly. When I was a kid back in San Antonio, Texas, my dad managed a movie theater for a while there, and I practically lived in it. And that is where I fell in love with this little guy, this little wooden boy named Pinocchio. I remember my grandmother made me a costume out of a bed sheet so I'd look like the blue fairy who made Pinocchio real. And you just behave yourself because you know if you tell a lie, your nose will grow some more. Now, here's a great moment from my favorite Disney film. Will you watch it with me?
introducing the one and only Pinocchio.
Go ahead. Make a fool of yourself.
I got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I hit strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. Hi-ho, the merry-o, that's the only way to be. I want the world to know nothing ever worries me. I got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I hit strings, but now I'm free.
What does an actor want with a conscience anyway?
Why, Jimmy, that's not nice. When I was growing up, it was my life's dream to be a cartoonist. I'd come home from Davy Crockett Grammar School and I'd sketch for hours and hours on end. But of course, I could never make my artwork leap off the page the way Disney's did. Disney animators had a magic touch that could bring just about anything to life. Now, for instance, take this lovely flower. You see, at Disney, they could take this flower and teach it to talk.
That's nonsense. Flowers can't talk. But of course we can talk, my dear.
If there's anyone worth talking to. Or about.
And we sing, too.
You do? Oh, yes. Would you like to hear Tell It to the Tulip?
No, let's sing about us. We know one about the shy little violet.
Oh, no, not that old thing.
Let's do Lovely Lily of the Valley.
How about it, Daisy?
Oh, she wouldn't like that.
We shall sing.
Ooby-doo, I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you. You say it's true. And ape like me. Can learn to be human too.
It wasn't just plants and animals that Disney managed to give human qualities. Everyday objects were just as likely to spring to life.
I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you. You see it's true. Someone like me can learn to be like someone like me. Take me home, Daddy. Can learn to be like someone like you. One more time. Yeah, can learn to be like someone like me.
I really love it when the animated world and the real world are combined on the screen. And Disney has been doing it better than anyone else for over 60 years. And the reason I'm in this particular forest is because I want to prove to Prince Charming that we really don't live in two different worlds. I hope he gets here before my taxi turns back into a pumpkin. I'm wishing for the one I love. When Uncle Remus and Brer Frog go fishing, see if you can spot what's real and what's been animated.
He sure is. You mark my words. That's a fact. That young scout was going to put his foot in it one of these days.
In this test footage from Mary Poppins, we get a rare glimpse into the art of mixing live action and animation. On the right are pencil tests and a drawing of Dick Van Dyke that was used as a visual reference by the animators. Oh, by the way, I hear the food at this place is pretty good, but the waiters are kind of slippery. In 1982, the Disney studio took a giant leap forward with Tron, an adventure movie which featured state-of-the-art computer animation. since I can remember, I wanted to fly just like Dumbo and Peter Pan. I think my #1 fantasy was soaring high above the treetops, doing loop-de-loops through the clouds. And one day, my dream finally came true. Well, almost. It happened during a tribute to Disney on my television show. Now, that wasn't as easy as it looks. There was a tailwind out of the west like you wouldn't believe. I think I'll let the real Peter Pan tell you how it's done.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But, Peter, how do we get to Neverland?
Fly, of course.
Fly?
It's easy. All it takes is faith and trust. Oh, and something I forgot. Dust.
Dust? Dust?
Yup. Just a little bit of pixie dust.
Think of a wonderful thought, any merry little thought. Think of Christmas, think of snow, think of sleigh bells off you go like reindeer in the sky. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. When there's a smile in your heart, there's no better time to start. Think of all the joy you'll find when you leave the world behind and bid your cares goodbye. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. You can fly, you can fly.
I've always dreamed about flying, that I was a bird and then I could go sailing all over the sky, high above everything.
With a little help from Merlin, the magician, young King Arthur's career really took off.
Oh, but then I suppose everybody dreams about flying. I'm a bird, I'm a bird, I'm a bird. Spread your wings, way out, way out. That's it, that's it. Now fan your tail. Tippity-toe, and off we go. Now, tuck your feet under, like me. That's it, that's the idea. Whoa, what? Oh! And don't fight the air currents. Use them. Well, say, boy, that's pretty good. Well, boy, you're a natural.
Before Dumbo could actually make that big leap, he had to learn to believe in himself.
Uh-oh, the magic feather! Dumbo, come on, fly! Open them ears! Hurry! Right there! Let's show 'em, Dumbo! Power dive! You're making history!
We'll continue after these messages. Turn to the Disney Sunday Movie.
One of the things that makes Disney animation so incredibly exciting is the constant sense that anything can happen. Witches become dragons, fire turns to ice, hippos dance with alligators. As they say, anything goes. Just because something is easy for one character doesn't mean it's easy for another. I guess it helps to know the artist. How do all these unbelievable things really happen? I guess you could say it's magic. When it comes to lovable animals, it's hard to top Bambi. He is the sweetest thing ever. Oh, let's face it, if you don't like Bambi, there's something definitely wrong with you. Now, here's that great scene where Bambi gets a speech lesson from one of the cutest tutors you've ever seen, Thumper.
Look, he's starting to talk. Bird. He's trying to say bird. Say bird. 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 Come on, say bird, say bird. Say bird, say bird. Bird. He talked, Mama. The young prince said bird. Butterfly. No, that's a flower. Flower? Uh-huh, it's pretty. Party. Flower. Me? Oh, that's all right. He can call me a flower if he wants to.
It was back in 1920 when a young animator named Walt Disney began his career drawing cartoons called Laugh-O-Grams. In his series of shorts called Alice Comedies, Disney was one of the first to combine animated characters with live action. When Walt Disney created Mickey Mouse, a star and a studio were born. The animation process is very complex, taking artists thousands of hours to complete even one cartoon. Here's what an animation cell looks like. It takes dozens of these to create every second of screen time. Let me take you on a tour of the Disney animation department where, with a little luck, this distinguished rodent will come to life. Here, everything comes together in ways I still find mystifying. Perhaps my close personal friend, Mickey Mouse, can help us clear things up. Each Mickey drawing is slightly different, and when run in sequence, these pictures fool the eye just enough to simulate motion. Filmed frame by frame, 24 times a second, this is how it looks on the screen. Well, here comes my man now. Oh, Mickey, would you mind giving us a brief demonstration of just how three-dimensional you are? Incredible, isn't it? There's more life here than in some actors I've worked with. It's almost as if he could reach out and touch me. Ow! I didn't mean that literally, you rat. I mean, you cute little fella. Thank you, Mickey. Now let's see how all this was used to amazing effect in the Mickey Mouse cartoon, Thru the Mirror. Disney was fascinated by Lewis Carroll's story of Alice in Wonderland and produced this early version of it with his favorite mouse filling Alice's shoes. Unfortunately for Mickey, this part drove him nuts. I'm a sucker for a good song, and Disney films have always been filled with them. I remember every single song from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And this is my very own Snow White doll that my grandmother gave to me back in Texas in 1939. So, take my advice. If you're on your way home from school or work tomorrow, why don't you give this little tune a warble, and I guarantee you it'll lift your spirits. Hi-ho!
Hi-ho!
Get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. When you meet temptation and the urge is very strong, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. Not just a little squeak, pucker up and blow. And if your whistle's weak, yell, Jiminy Cricket, right! Take the straight and narrow path, and if you start to slide, give a little whistle. Give a little whistle. And always let your conscience be your guide.
Salagadoola, menchikaboola, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. Put them together, and what have you got? Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. Salagadoola, menchikaboola, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. It'll do magic, believe it or not. Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. Now salagadoola means a menchikaboola-roo. But the thingamabob that does the job is bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
Oh, salagadoola, menchikaboola, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. Put them together and what have you got? Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
He's a tramp. He's a scoundrel. He's a rounder. He's a cad. He's a tramp. But I love him. Yes, even I have got it pretty bad. You can never tell when he'll show up. He gives you plenty of trouble. I guess he's just a no-count pup. But I wish that he were double. He's a tramp. He's a rover. And there's nothing more to say. If he's a tramp, he's a good one. And I wish that I could travel his way. Wish that I could travel his way.
Many people consider Disney's 1940 classic Fantasia to be the greatest animated feature of all time. One of my favorite moments from the film is the Sorcerer's Apprentice, as Mickey Mouse gets swept away by 200 magical brooms. Fantasia is actually 7 different short films set to music. Or you could think of it as the first great music video. know you guys know something about Cinderella, so I'd like to tell you a little Cinderella story about me. Way back when I was invited to the senior prom, I was pretty worried because my grandmother and I didn't have enough money to get me anything new. But my Uncle Tex found out about it, and he took me downtown to the department store, and he bought me a pair of silver flats and a white net prom dress. I'm telling you, they were the finest duds I have ever owned. Now, we all know Cinderella didn't have an Uncle Tex, but we also know that she had some pretty industrious mice to help her out.
Poor Cinderella. Hey, we can do it! We can do it, we can do it, we can help our Cinderella. We can make the dress so pretty. There's nothing to it, really. We'll tie a sash around it, put a ribbon through it. When dancing at the ball, she'll be more beautiful than all. In the lovely dress we'll make for Cinderella. Happy birthday!
Oh, how can I ever? Oh, thank you so much.
If you know these strange names, Baloo, Shere Khan, and Mowgli, then you know I'm talking about the Jungle Book. When Baloo the bear tries to rescue the little boy Mowgli, the result is one of the wildest chases you've ever seen, and the music is a perfect complement to the craziness we see on the screen.
Baloo, it's you!
Music has always played a key role in Disney animation. Their musical experiments began in the late 1920s with a series of innovative cartoons called Silly Symphonies. The first one was called The Skeleton Dance and featured the high-stepping members of a real graveyard shift. This one's a classic, Bumble Boogie, a musical nightmare for a bee who refuses to buzz off. later, most Disney characters found a way to get into the act.
Back to our story.
One thing you can say about Mickey and his gang, no matter how famous they became, they never forgot the meaning of friendship.
If you're ever in a jam, here I am.
If you ever feel so happy you land in jail, I'm your bail. That's friendship.
Such a perfect bland ship.
When other friendships have been forgotten, ours will still be hot. Here's my friend, Donald Duck.
Mickey always seems to have a new trick up his sleeve, like this instant recipe for pressed duck. Pluto finds that getting lost in a house of mirrors can do wonders for your image. Here's some proof that with a little creative remodeling, you can go on vacation without ever having to leave the house. In a make-believe world, things can look rosy even when you're down in the dumps.
Hey, who's five?
You'll be coming round the mountains, you'll be coming round the mountains, you'll be coming round the mountain when she comes.
Well, I brought you down safe and sound.
We couldn't do this show without acknowledging the villains. A rogues gallery of the slimiest scoundrels ever to slither across the screen. Demons, goblins, wicked queens, witches. Take it from me. If you should ever be in the woods one dark and stormy night, and you come across an old woman in black, hawking apples, keep walking, no matter how hungry you are.
Now, make a wish. And take a bite.
Ah! With bare hands!
Now,
spirits and all the powers of hell.
Feeling better now that we're through. Feeling better 'cause I'm over you. I've learned my lesson and got the scar. And now I see how you really are. You know good, you know good, you know good. Baby, you know good. I'm gonna say it again. You know good, you know good, you know good. Baby, you know good. No good.
Without a doubt, the rottenest villain of all was Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians.
I want the job done tonight.
How are we gonna do it?
Any way you like, poison them, drown them, bash them in the head. You got any chloroform?
Not a drop. And no eater.
I don't care how you kill the little beast, but do it! And do it now!
Oh, please, Miss, now have pity, will you?
Now listen, you idiots. I'll be back first thing in the morning. And the job better be done or I'll call the police. Do you understand?
Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will.
Oh,
to
Roger.
see her is to take a sudden chill.
Oh.
Cruella, Cruella de Vil.
To the Disney Sunday movie.
Of course, true love is one surefire way to triumph over evil. Disney love stories touch the romantic in all of us, whether you're already in love or just wishing.
I'm wishing for the one I love to find me today. Oh!
Hello.
Oh!
Did I frighten you? Wait, please. Don't run away.
You, sire, are incurably romantic. No doubt you saw the whole pretty picture in detail. The young prince bowing to the assembly. Suddenly he stops. He looks up. Hello. There she stands. The girl of his dreams. Who she is or whence she came, he knows not, nor does he care. But his heart tells him that here is the maid predestined to be his bride.
So this is love. So this is love. So this is what makes life mine. I'm all aglow. And now I know.
And now I know
The key to all heaven is mine. My heart has wings, and I can fly. I'll touch every star in the sky. So this is the miracle that I've been dreaming of. So this is love.
Oh, romance. The people at Disney are always searching for innovative ways to explore the modern world of animation. In the last few years, Disney's experiments have resulted in exciting new directions to surprise and delight us. This is the 1980s answer to an animation pencil test, a computer-generated background that will be colored and then combined with traditionally animated characters. New techniques like these help Disney push back the boundaries of modern animation. The Black Cauldron utilizes incredible animated effects as it tells the tale of a medieval struggle between good and evil.
Come on, get them!
Oh, no! Karen!
We've got you now, big boy.
Karen! Do something!
Run, princess, run! Stay up! Stay up!
Why didn't you tell me you had a magic sword?
Here's the latest hero in the long line of Disney's lovable mice, Basil, the Great Mouse Detective. This new film chronicles Basil's and Dr. Dawson's adventures battling a villain named Ratigan. The fun begins when Basil calls in his eager assistant, Toby.
I say, Basil, who is this Toby chap?
Here he is now. Dawson, Toby. Toby has the most splendid sense of smell of any hound I've trained, but he can be deucedly frisky.
Hello, Toby. Silly doggy.
Now, Toby, the matter at hand. I want you to... Good. Now, Toby, I want you to find this fiend. Yes, you know his type. The villain, scoundrel. Low brow, close-set eyes, broken wing. Oh, he's a peg-leg bat with a broken wing. Got his scent. Good boy! Good boy! Miss Lanchester.
Lavisham.
What? Your father is as good as father. Toby! Seek 'em! Ah! Yoinks! Tally-ho!
I think you'll agree we've seen some remarkable animation tonight. What makes Disney animation so special is how it touches us with its humor, its optimism, and its boundless imagination. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have the journey to this wonderful animated world where dreams still come true. Good night.
We'll come back. After these business news, watch our comprehensive new business report, weekday mornings at 6:15 on ABC's World News This Morning, before Good Morning America.
This is Joan London. Tomorrow on Good Morning America, Shirley MacLaine tells us about the filming of Out on a Limb, and Mary Tyler Moore is on Broadway. She'll tell us about it tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Now stay tuned for Out on a Limb, a special presentation of the ABC Sunday night movie starring Shirley MacLaine, next.